Hi, my name is Kalino. I live in South Kona, and I'm here at MBTA because my mom wanted me to experience how it feels to be in a homeschool and to learn new things.
I'm Tiger Oaks. I live in Waimea. I am attending MBTA because it's a fun course. I learn a lot.
Yeah, sometimes I do feel that I need to be be by a teacher so they can help me physically. And most of the time I feel like I'm away from everything because I basically live in a place out of no place, so I can't really be by everybody, see anything.
No, I don't feel like I'm missing that because with all the live classes and pronto, I meet with the other students and teachers through video camera and calling, and it's a pretty interactive experience. For social interaction in the classroom, I think I don't miss much in that except being able to see the other students, but you still get to talk to them a lot.
Actually, the kids are involved in a lot of sports activities, so they meet a lot of friends through there, and they have a very busy schedule between swimming, karate, and tennis, and they socialize with their friends after school, so they don't lack socializing with friends.
Before I didn't really learn things, but now I learned lots of things about World War II and everything, and math things that I didn't learn before. And
I started it because the school was a little bit more advanced than most public schools. They started reading at age 3, and by the time they reached kindergarten, they were reading chapter books. And if you went through the regular public school system, they would put them in the course of learning ABCs, and afraid they would be bored. And then we just advanced year by year from there.
I'm trying to find different ways that Kalino can learn. Yeah, she was in a regular ed school, restrictions at the regular ed school with the principal and stuff like that. We had to pull her out because they wouldn't allow her to leave school to go to her psychiatric appointments, which was really difficult because she goes to psychiatric appointments frequently, which doesn't make sense because they help her in school. So that was really difficult, and we were trying to find other options, and we figured, okay, let's try the online. I did really well with my degree online, and I thought she could do it well because she likes computers. When she's able to focus and I'm sitting with her, she's able to get her work done really quickly. You know, if she's motivated, I notice it'll help her. If she's not motivated, it's actually a real challenge. But she did make friends on Myron B. Thompson. For a person like me in high school, this would have been a really good avenue for me. I could have graduated early, but because the DOE requires you to have 4 years of English and stuff like that, my junior and senior year, I only went to school for 2 classes, and that was it. But something like this would have been good because I could have gotten stuff done and go to work, because I worked. You know, we worked on the farm. We had other things to do.
I think they're learning leaps and bounds beyond what I had in school. They're covering courses in high school that I would have covered in college, or I've had to repeat in college in order to understand it. And their writing skills is much more advanced than what I've had, and also their math skills. And the main thing is they thoroughly understand it. And by having the parents watch where they learn so closely, I know what they're weak on and can help them with that part. So when they're finished at grade level, I know they've actually learned versus just having run through the school and not having retained the information.
Well, one way that the outer island students can be helped is maybe getting or organizing once a month get-togethers with the children. That way even if it's an all day and doing workshops. Okay, we're going to do a math workshop and we're going to learn do these activities, you know, or we're going to do a writing workshop and we're going to do these activities. And that way the children can interact with each other. Also, they get a educational component that's beneficial for their learning. You know, if it's a workshop, kids are maybe actively doing something. If it's a science workshop, have them doing an activity that they can focus on all day and work together as a group. Because, yeah, they have that cohesion. Like I said, Kalina is texting and calling her friends on the phone that she makes with Myron B. Thompson, but she has no other interaction. Plus, it would be really good because then the kids start that collaboration in person, and maybe when they're out of that environment and behind the computer, they can say, hey, I can talk to so-and-so and ask them a question. Or I know who I can go to because they probably know how to read it better than I do. You know, so providing that opportunity for the kids to be able to come together and work together actively like they do in classes.
It really let me connect onto the internet sometimes, so it's kind of hard to do my work because I end up turning it in late sometimes.
Extremely horrible. Then all of a sudden you lose the connection. All of a
Okay.
sudden it drops on you. But so far so good. I added that the links, which actually helps, and I'm able to use the desktop and use 4 more laptops on it. Okay. So it works well. So far so good. Only Verizon is the only company that works here.
I think online learning actually has more one-on-one student-teacher instructions than in class. You're not in a big classroom, but every time the students need help, the teachers are reachable by phone, by email. They just have to get in the habit of doing their work a little earlier and planning, which I think is also useful, because when you're working, that's what you need to know. And the courses offered are, I think, accelerated than what you would learn in normal school.
She enjoyed the GLO camp. She said she's made a lot of friends in the GLO camp. She was able to do collaboration in the GLO camp. There was some students that she was able to maybe go and ask questions to. But I think if we do it more often than once a year, and especially for the outer island students, that would be really good. And yeah, it's just mainly the interaction so the kids can get to figure out, okay, when I'm online and we're in this forum, I can talk to this student about, oh, that's a good student to go to for reading, or that's a good student who understands math concepts really easily.
I don't know of every student. There's a lot of self-motivation involved, and the student has to, especially the first year, it's difficult to get into that cycle, and the parents have to be behind them to make sure they do the work. But after about half a year, a quarter year through, the cycle is really there. But again, it depends on the student. But that also applies to regular school. The self-motivation in regular public schools, if it's not there, the students also have a hard time in the public school. The subject's a little more difficult. The due dates are there, and they're bound by those dates. So in the long run, it teaches them independence.